What's up? What's up? What's up? We are back. We're going live in about 5 minutes, everybody. How you doing? How are you feeling? Good to be back with you. We got to get this music going. We're getting started here in just a moment. Everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. We're going to be getting going, like I said, in just a moment. The market's moving. Are you in position? Let me know what you're doing right now. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Have you been buying? Did you catch this pump? Are you waiting for the right move? Let us know in the chat. Comment down below. We're getting going here in just a few minutes. Man, I missed you guys and gals. I missed you all. I was out in Tampa and St. Pete with TJ and Justin and Scott Melker and Gary Soloway and Gary Cardone. We were out making some moves, doing some things, but we are back. And you know what? I'm happy to be here with you all. We got the, we're gonna see who's the real crew now. All you that are tuned in after a week off, week hiatus from doing live charts. I'm happy to be back. So let's get this going, baby. All right, let's do that roll call. Everybody throw in your lab coats. Throw in any altcoin or Bitcoin, any coin that you caught the pump on. Let me know. We got Matt C, we got Dale Rodriguez, we got Brad Guy Dell, my guy. I'm George 2, Red Elephant, Matt C, Justin Eubanks, Alexandra G, the main mama here on the channel. Crimson Caravan Company, the one, the only. JS. Are you guys ready to get this started? Everybody throw a 1 in chat if you're ready to get this stream started, break down these charts, and get together. I'm so happy to be back with you all. What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome to BitLab Academy Daily Stream. My name is Kellam. Welcome to the show. Markets moved over the weekend. Still holding up at those levels. We're seeing Bitcoin. We're seeing Ethereum. We're seeing Link. We're seeing this market move like we want it to. We all have a bullish bias, let's be honest. So let's break down these charts. We're going to jump right on into it today. So let's get it started. Everybody in the chat, I want to see some lab coats. I want to see some test tubes. I want to see any coins that did you catch any of these pumps? Were you in position? Are you waiting for confirmations? Let me know what you're doing in the chat. Let's break this down right here. Looking at this chart, right, or this page, post from Dylan LeClaire talking about the Bitcoin. Hold on, let me move this just a little. There we go. Talking about dollar cost averaging. Man, this is boring. We want to look at the charts, but I just wanted to frame this first before we look in at the charts. Let's look a little bit at the macro. Bitcoin, gold, SPX, basically Bitcoin, new digital gold, new asset class. Gold being that store of value, also, one of those flight to safety assets, and then the traditional asset market here, SPX. We can see you dollar cost average Bitcoin stocks and gold starting from 11, 10, 21, the day of the Bitcoin all-time high. You would be up 16% on Bitcoin, only 8% on gold, and only 1% on traditional assets. You let me know which one you would want to be in. This is just one of those good reminders. Now, going through some of the things that we want to go through, I'll get to that in a second. We got to look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, pretty baby, just pushing higher and higher. It'll look really sexy. We put this on the 30-minute chart and go like this, and we see that this has just been stair-stepping up. This is what we want to see. We don't want to see one God candle. One God candle to the upside says very quick movement back to the downside likely. This is doing what we want to see it do. What's going to happen at these levels? Let's get back out here on the daily chart. That is the craziest chart. Woo! That is a crazy chart. That's not the one I meant to show. I meant to show, I believe it is right in here. Yeah. Nope, that's not it. This one right here. This is the chart I meant to show. Looking at a bunch of stuff here. Bitcoin, we have this rising channel. We have this sort of descending level of resistance formulated at this point, this point, this point, this point. And not only do we break out above this, look at this deviation to the downside, push back up. Some people may have been waiting for a short opportunity at this level. It pushed right through it. Not only did it push right through it, we had this large wick to the upside come back. It found support on this level, bounced off this, and now is finding some resistance where right at these previous highs of this range right in here, which is basically right about the $31,000 level. And we can see if we put our mouse over this candle, you can always look up here at the top. If you're not sure exactly what levels, you want all the data on this candle, put your mouse over the candle and you can see right here, you have open, high, OHLC, open, high, low, close. This means where the candle open, what's the high of that candle, the highest point of the wick, the low, the lowest point of the wick, and the close. Where did that candle close? In this case, this candle is not closed yet. So we have, of course, 9 hours and 56 minutes left on this candle. But currently, the high has been 30,974. Let's see what it is on some other charts. This one is 30,985. Okay, so we're getting pretty good consensus about this high here. And we can see that the price is pushing right up into the regionally where this previous high was, all the way over here. Some people want to look at this and say maybe we're forming a head and shoulders, which would essentially be a bearish setup, which would be shoulder, head. Are we forming some sort of shoulder here? We got to see we have to see what the data is telling us about the likelihood here, because we have this large order blocks that print all the way back over here. You see where this starts? This band that's coming off here is part of the BitLab volume. It shows that there is a large grouping of orders In this case, a lot of buy and sell orders, but a lot of orders were right at this level. So this is a high level of interest, high level of liquidity interest. And what do we see at this level? We see price action got rejected, and on this time when it rejected, formed another order block within this region. And we see the price action now coming up into this zone. So we want to be vigilant here. We don't want to see this and go, oh, this is absolutely going to come up here and break and just absolutely moonshot. up. Maybe it will. Maybe this is a time that it fully decouples from the stock market. Maybe the stock market goes down, the Bitcoin price pumps. As it stands right now, we are at a critical juncture that we need to pay attention to because we are still pre-halving, and we've seen time and time again. It's only been time and time again because we've had the two halvings preceding this. We've had more than two halvings, but looking at the historical charts, we tend to see the price action sort of push up sometime before the halving and then sell off into it. So we're looking at the halving somewhere over here about right about somewhere in this zone. So we got a lot of work to do before we get to this zone right here. Are we going to push up and then sell off into it? Are we going to range in this zone? Are we going to have this right shoulder and come here, break this neckline, and come to the downside? The neckline being this zone right here, from this, this high, this low zone, this low zone. What is going to happen? Well, let's stack the probabilities in our favor. What does the data say? And first off, how the hell is each and every one of you? Haven't seen you all live here for almost a week. I've been working, literally tirelessly in the background, trying to get all this stuff moving in the background. We got a lot of stuff, a lot of initiatives moving forward with BitLab. And so I just want to tell you, I appreciate your patience with me. We are working tirelessly to get all this stuff rolled out. But I love you all. Make sure you're hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, dinging the bell, and let's go ahead and continue on here. We're going to come back to the chart here in a moment. I want to go through some of these different posts from different people across the chain, across the ecosystem. Colin Talks Crypto. He's the one, if you don't know, he's the one that does the Colin CBBI, this one right here. The CBBI, which is a great tool for any of you, if you're not, even if you are in depth with on-chain, this is a great tool for everybody. ColinTalksCrypto.com/CBBI. This is an aggregate sort of reading of all like 12 different very important on-chain data metrics. And you can kind of see, are we near market cycle lows likelihood or near market cycle high likelihood based on what all the different on-chain data says. This is who this tweet is from. He made that, and it says, people are quick to say Bitcoin is decoupling from traditional markets. In my observation, Bitcoin occasionally decouples for short periods of time, only to return to a highly correlated status later on. This is important because everybody wants to talk about the decoupling of Bitcoin from the traditional asset markets right now. But maybe it is. Maybe it's only a short-lived, maybe it's a short window that we're getting this. So we need to be careful to read this. So NASDAQ and equities literally breaking down while Bitcoin not only unaffected, but also rallying. This is that sort of sentiment that he's talking about. But let's go through this and then we can determine for ourselves what we're thinking. Now, in this case, we're talking about gold moving up. This is that flight to safety. US dollars moving sideways. And equities are moving down. It's interesting that the US dollar is moving sideways, gold's moving up, equities down. It's kind of just trying to figure out what to do. But if I were to look at this, what do we see? What do we see on the US dollar? If we're looking at this blue line, what do we see? We see price action moving up, chopping, but healthy move to the upside. Breaks previous highs right here. But what do we see? We see a push up here, sell off, much smaller push up, sell off. We formed a new low, followed by a new lower low, I should say, on this range. See, we broke this low, and then this is immediately followed by a lower high. This is indicating to me that the US dollar may have some trouble moving to the upside right now, which is going to put Bitcoin in a little bit of a predicament in terms of uncertainty with everything going on. If US dollar starts moving down, one would think that we could start seeing risk assets move up, but everything feels so risk off right now because of the, what's going on in the Middle East, what's going on with markets, it feels so uncertain. So we gotta look to the charts. We have to let the chart tell us where the moves might be coming from, where they might be doing. Matt, see, I did not do my push-ups this morning. I will do them right after the stream. So let's go ahead and look at this. Okay, well, this is that decoupling that Colin was talking about. Is the Bitcoin decoupling we've been waiting for years finally happening? Look at this, Bitcoin pushing up, S&P 500 pushing down. Basically similar to looking to the SPX. Is this suggesting that this is the decoupling for a period much like he was talking about here, for a short period of time, only to return to highly correlated status later on. If this is the case, this would strengthen the argument that this is a shoulder, head. Are we building that shoulder to break down? And I'm not saying that's the case. I'm saying we need to look to the data, because after things happen in a month from now, if this does break down, we'll be like, well, why did that happen? Well, we can see that there is some stresses in the market. The question always is, and this is what's so frustrating for people that only have a bullish bias. You want it to go up, you see this, you say the decoupling's finally happened, you go all in so you can catch this before it breaks this high. That is what gets people into trouble. That's what steals the capital from your portfolio. If you don't if you're not proactively hedging your risk in this market and looking for what is likely in both directions, because this is suggesting with Bitcoin pushing up, maybe this is the time that this does break out, but this is still suggesting if it's not the time yet for that decoupling to fully carry through and Bitcoin truly break away from traditional assets, then we can see that this is suggesting that there's some risk off mentality really in the market right now. So unless this is absolutely the time that Bitcoin decouples and sustains that decoupling, unless that's the case, this is showing that this is somewhat inflated and will likely come back down. Again, remember when we were talking a second ago, we talked about the possibility of this price action coming and we talked about this last week too, chopping into maybe even getting a dip down into this halving. So we got a lot to consider here. And regardless of what happens in the zone, barring the notion that we get all the Bitcoin ETFs approved before the end of the year, if that were to happen, next week, maybe we're going to really, I'm not saying it's going to happen next week. I'm saying in the event that, that shocks everybody and we get all these ETF approvals coming in, maybe we do get a large rally, but I still think we're going to get a sell-off into the halving if we get that pump. So just be careful, be patient, and let the market do the work for you. Where are we at? Okay, so here is a Bitcoin. This is sort of strengthening that idea that of Bitcoin, the decoupling that we're seeing right now. Bitcoin is hitting new year-to-date highs relative to the median U.S. stock. This is basically Bitcoin's value as compared to the aggregate of the median U.S. stock value and the sort of performance stocks have had. So we're seeing Bitcoin has broken this middle high that we can see right here as it relates to the U.S. dollar. When we're looking on this chart, this is not Bitcoin weight against the U.S. dollar. This is Bitcoin weight against stocks measured in the US dollar. In this case, this is showing basically a strengthening idea of this decoupling. Is this going to be a bearish divergence is the question. Is this showing that there's a divergence in the underlying sort of risk mentality? Is there really going to be a flight to Bitcoin? Now the question here, the question that we all have to ask ourselves is, with these ETFs on the horizon, is this going to be when they do carry forward, when they do get pushed forward and accepted, will this drive price forward and be a sustained push, or will this be right now we're seeing price action moving up? Will this be a buy the rumor sort of scenario where we get a quick pump right after those ETF approvals, only followed by a sell the news event into the halving? I think that is a very likely scenario, so we need to be very careful when we're looking at the possibilities of price action and not say ETFs come, that means up, 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 up in a way without any sell-off and speculative action here on the markets, taking the liquidity of people that are far too excited, which is typically what happens in markets with huge news. Kelly has all the cool on-chain charts. I got some good on-chain charts, baby. I love sharing these charts. We got all kind of people in the house. Just special shout out to all of you here. Everybody hit the like button. We got 21 likes and 63 people in the room. Since we've been having some scheduling, trying to figure out where the times for the best places for things to fit, and me still being able to do stuff in the afternoon so we can put out more content for you guys in the Academy. By the way, if you haven't checked out BitLab Academy, check it out. It's right here, bitlabacademy.com. Enroll right here. You can still use Give Me 30 for 30% off your first month. Get involved there. We're about to be shooting a lot more. We got really excited for a new person that we're bringing into the Hit Network. It's also going to be helping film a bunch of content inside BitLab Academy as well. You'll be seeing him on the Discover Crypto show tomorrow, and you'll be seeing him here in BitLab as well. So we are working to bring you the best education in the crypto and blockchain space. Now, that's not what I wanted to show. Something else. Oh, so this is something I wanted to talk about right here. Crypto markets. It's not just Bitcoin. We got Ethereum, we got Cardano, we got the whole list of all the coins. But these coins. Look at this. Link had a large push. Matic had a large push. UIP had a large push. Aptos, AAVE. So I want to look at all these coins. Let me know if you hold any of these coins. If you've been waiting for Link to finally break out of that massive consolidation accumulation that it's been having for the last over a year and a half. I want to look at these coins and talk about this, because one of the things we really want to look for right now, before we dive into these charts for TA, I want you to just, I try to bring this chart up as much as possible. This is a global liquidity. So we're worried about this, risk on, risk off mentality. What's going on with Bitcoin? What's going on with this risk off, sort of the selling pressure in the S&P 500 and traditional assets? But we also need to pay attention to where capital is coming from. Not just with the spot ETFs in the US, but also we've got China, we got Japan, we got Europe, we've got Australia, we've got Africa, we've got the whole world that we have to pay attention to as this becomes more of a global asset, meaning more adopters worldwide are getting involved with Bitcoin. We want to pay attention to global liquidity, because this will be the fuel to push Bitcoin higher. So, as we can see, just like any chart, see this pushing down, we see this starting to round out a little bit, it starts pushing higher, consolidates, pushes higher, and look at this rounding top, break down. Push up, so we start to get that lower high, break down. Same thing you can do with price action, you can do with liquidity, because things move in cycles. And we can see right here, point with this is push up, lower low, lower high, a little bit of a same level, push higher, lower high, break down, but this is starting to round. Are we about to see a capital injection in global markets? Are we start to see capital injection in the economy? Because this would be the perfect storm to have ETFs approved, to have global liquidity back on the rise, injections back into economies, and to see Bitcoin break key levels, so we can really be excited about that price action moving higher. Wow, this chart, I wonder how they get this this data. This is from The Rational Root. I'll be having him on the show here soon. He and I sat and talked for hours at the Bitcoin conference. Really smart guy. This is on his platform, Bitcoin Strategy platform. He really breaks down let me actually go back here. He really breaks down all kind of different things with his view on the market. Remember, we got to talk about where the halving is too. This is the amount of time. This shows you previous cycles. Halving here, this is a halving here, this is a halving here. Shows you that gap of what the price action did based on where we are in the halving. So this is where we are in the halving. So this would be relevant to right here in the previous cycle. This is what happened in that gap between this exact time and when the halving occurred. So we saw the push up and then the global economic catastrophe, and then, basically V-shaped recovery back into this zone. So in this case right here, we had a pretty large push up, sell off, consolidation, large push up. This is that thing I was talking about that could be happening if we get the ETF before the halving, which is likely, and then the sell off into the halving, and then we had that bullet, the start of that bullish parabola that just got stronger and stronger and stronger. Same thing, stronger and stronger and stronger. So looking at the price, I had another chart somewhere and I don't know where it is, and that's okay. We're looking here. I want to look at Chainlink. All you linkers out there, link Marines, let me know. I'll never forgive myself for not buying Bitcoin during that COVID dip. Forgive yourself. You are here. You are learning. You're figuring. You're putting together the tools and the strategies you need so that you can see those opportunities next time and that you can have dry powder on the side so that you can take advantage of them. Now, looking here, this is Chainlink. Oops. We can see. This is that sideways consolidation I was talking about. Not only do we have that, we can also draw one more line, and that's this sort of line that kind of comes just like this from this high, sort of relevant in this zone, This price action is moving down. We can also do it like this. This would be actually better. Top, 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 top. And we broke out of this to the upside. Now, not only do we have the sideways consolidation, we also have this long downtrend resistance from this point, and this point, and this point. We can actually adjust this. I do this on my phone. Adjust this just like this. And we can see with this, we have this rejections. We have rejection. And then what do we do? What do we do? We talked about this in the video about a week and a half ago on Discover Crypto, the breakout trading. I talked about it on this channel all the time as well. This pushed up, came down, flipped this previous resistance to support, and then broke out. So we got a little bit of a bull flag here. Let's actually make this a little darker so you can see it. A little brighter, I should say, not darker. So we've got this bull flag here. Now what we can do is take this, I'm gonna do a conservative measurement. And look at that move right there. I'm gonna actually delete that. Let's do the full measurement as well. Let's see all the way from that level to that level on the breakout. Look at where this price action went. Came up, formed a little flag, confirmed previous resistance to support, and came up, and the target out of this flag came, look at this, right within the regional area of where this target suggested it should go. Now, if we look at this inverse head and shoulders that we have drawn here, okay, and I moved this down a little bit just so you can see it. It's really kind of like this. We'll draw from this neckline. See this resistance point right up in here, right? So we're going to measure from that all the way to the bottom side of this head, and we could take this from this zone. This suggests that price is going somewhere in the $12 to $14 range. And what is in this zone? Well, if we draw a target, let's look left. Is this a relevant zone? Looking left, we've got all of this, all this price action. We can actually even just take this target and go like this and go to the left. Look at this. We have support here, we have rejection, we have all this choppiness right inside the zone. This bounces right here off, this bounces right here, this bounces right here, bounces at the bottom. So we have the zone, and this is basically the 12.5 to 14.2 sort of zone that based on this inverse head and shoulders on this pretty large scale. I mean, this was, let's see, this was 532 days, so about a year and a half. So not only did we break out of this sort of inverse head and shoulders, the more conservative play would have been this sort of range that we're in, or this line right here, which is also the neckline. But breaking out of this zone, this portion right here suggests to me that this is a solid move. So what is the target? Well, we just did two different targets from the smaller time frame bull flag that we have right here that gave us a further signal that this was likely to break out. We had another one right here. See this? But this broke down. In this case, this pushed up and it broke this level and shot through this level. At this point right here, it's like, okay, this one's very likely going to run. And what did it do? It ran right up into the zone. So I'm looking right now on Chainlink. Let's get down to the 2 hour. Looking right now on Chainlink to see if there's any signs of weakness, if it's going to come back and test a level down here, back at the 930 to 950 sort of range. It's right in this chop zone. 947 is kind of a good area to look. But this is still looking bullish. It's pushing up. A little bit of a flag push up, a little bit of a consolidation to the downside without the follow through. The bears cannot bring this down. So this is looking like it's trying to make that attempt at $12. What does it look like on the signals? Okay, well, let's look at this. We have the inverse head and shoulder. The pattern gave us a setup, okay? This is pushing up into a known zone. What do the momentum indicators look like? Well, in this case, right when we got up into this known zone, look at this, we got that triangle. We had the RSI and stochastics. RSI and stochastics started to break down as well. So, okay, we did get a little bit of a rejection. So what happens? Momentum comes down. Stochastics do what they need us to do. We don't really want, I mean, it'll happen, but we don't really want, if we're trying to take a smart trade, to trade this when the stochastics are all the way up here. So what this gives us an opportunity to do is when price action comes up into this known level of resistance, let it have a little bit of a pullback, or let it break through and come back and find the confirmation. In either case, what we want to see is on a breakout and come back and testing of confirmation, or on a rejection here, we want to see the stochastics, this orange line, come down, reset a little bit. We want to see this next momentum wave either bounce somewhere near the zero line like this did right here, see this, and pushed up, or right here, it came down, and just a small movement to the downside and starting to arc back up. So this is starting to arc back up. Option V, this is starting, this starts to arc back up right here before this move comes out. Stochastics are fully are reset all the way down here into the 24, below 30. Cooled off, it's not overheated. Refilled the tanks. And then what do we get? We start getting the, let me zoom in on this. So this starts moving up. The RSI was moving up before the stochastics. We see a money flow injection. See this flip from purple and gray to blue? Money's coming in while this momentum is flipping right there. This is giving us that signal. Maybe this is the time. So on the 4 hour, on the daily, it was giving a signal clear on the daily. What did it look like on the 4 hour? 4 hour. Let's let it load. There we go. So on the 4 hour, we get that push up all the way into the zone. And this is coming down. And what do we see here? If we draw a trend line, this is getting smaller and smaller waves to the downside. The momentum strength to the downside is getting weak. And then right here, also where we have this line drawn up from the daily, we see this money flow flip from negative money flow, money coming out of the market, to positive money flow, money coming into the market. And this pushes up, sells off, and this money flow flips positive. So on this bounce, that was a great signal. So now let's look at the BitLab intelligence. So look at all these bullish divergences. We had 3 bullish divergences there: RSI, bull, demand, momentum. Then we have 2 more right here. We're seeing momentum, on balance volume. Here we got demand and momentum again. And then here we got, put my mouse right over it. There we go. Money flow, and so we had a bullish divergence on money flow and the on balance volume. Man, this was just giving us the setups all the way through, and it did. It broke through, and the chart was telling us what was happening on this setup here, on this reload here, retesting this larger descending resistance level that came into support. So on this rejection of this smaller time frame, the rejection of this smaller time frame, the signal was, okay, we have a bit of an inverse head and shoulder that's formed here on this little bit of a rejection, on this rejection and coming down, testing this level as support. I'm watching everything that's happening here. And on this pullback, is this a larger momentum pullback or smaller comparatively? And we see it's smaller. We see the money flow flip positive, and we're finding support right in here. Small deviation below this trend signal line. So as soon as we get back up above this, and we see money flows positive, and the stochastics have reset, they're angled back up on the break of this level. That was a little bit of a confirmation for me that this was moving higher into that up towards that ultimate target of the $12 to $14 range. Now let's look at Aptos. APT. How many people out there got Aptos? So look in here. Look at that move. Boom, man. So we're doing this together, coming just like this. Look at that. So we got rejection, 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 and breakthrough. So what does this mean for Aptos? Look at this right here. Stochastics high. as this is trying to make this work. Stochastics high. It comes down, fully resets, and we see that this momentum wave starts ticking to the upside. And we have what? If we really look at this like this, what do we have right here? The candles, the indicators, the volume, all of these work together. We break down, we break down, we push up, break down, push up. What is that? That is a W pattern. That is a potential reversal pattern. So seeing that our stochastics fully reset, this is pushing higher, and we have a candle pattern that's suggesting there's probably a switch coming here. We have a higher low right here. This breaks this trend signal line right here. But on the push up and comes back, retest, we find support on it. So breaking through right here with this fine support, breaking through this, the weekly VWAP, which is this yellow line. So breaking through this for me would have been a pretty strong signal, because we're breaking through this and breaking through these previous lows, which is also the neckline for this W pattern right here. So this would have been the signal for me right there. And we see the momentum wave was angled up sharply. Let's get down on the 4 hour. 4 hour. Okay, so look at this. Strong movement to the upside here on how deep these momentum waves get on. There we go. Look at a strong move to the upside right here. Money flow flips positive. Where? Right here. So from this bearish negative into bullish positive, blue. Stochastics fully reset, starts angled up. So this was giving us those signs. Aptos, what was one of the other ones? I forget at the moment. AAVE, let's look at AAVE. This will be the last one. And then we got to run over to Discover Crypto, do some TA over there. Where the hell is my chart at? There we go. Okay, AAVE. AAVE. Oh, look at that move. Man, AAVE, do some work for daddy. Alrighty. Now, everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. We're going to be back here at 10 a.m. tomorrow. I'm liking, because I have so much in the afternoon, doing these 10 to 10:30 slots and working other stuff into the afternoon. So count on me being here at 10 o'clock, 10 to 10:30 live. I know things have been changing. We've been trying to figure it all out here. But man, look at this. We're kind of at a critical juncture right now. Option T, we got it. We're at a critical juncture right here, but we also have this move that is, let's see. Yeah, so we got the momentum wave. Look at this inverse head and shoulder on the momentum wave, which I don't usually trade that specifically, but I just notice it. So bearish attempts on momentum, pushes back up, and we're getting a higher low here on the momentum wave. And what do we also see? Flips bullish right here with blue wave on the money flow. Stochastics fully reset, starts moving up before this move, showing strength coming in as price was going sideways. And we see a higher low on the momentum wave. What does it show on the 4 hour? Same, look at this. Higher low on the momentum wave. Stochastics come down, fully reset with the RSI. Starts moving up sharply before the move and then the move. This is the area I'm watching right here, $85. If we could take out $85, then the next zone that I'm looking for AAVE, if we do push higher, I mean, look at this. This is trying to be right for the taking. I'm looking at this sort of zone right here, 97. If we take out 97, then we might be, I really think we're going to be starting to make some strong moves, maybe up to 114, these previous lows and this high. Things are setting up. Be patient, be kind to yourself, get involved in the data, and tune in if you haven't yet. Join us in BitLab Academy and get involved as an all-access member or a BitLab Pro member. Get involved in our Discord here. Here's in the lobby just some great charts from Alex Green was sharing and Crimson Caravan Company. And we also have, I mean, we got so much stuff in here. The Jim's chat, we share so many different charts. And we have, it's not just me. We have so many different people in our community that share, that are professional traders, that share and help and work with people. Get in there, ask questions, ask John Dalton questions, ask myself, Ray Meeks, Alex Green, Crimson Caravan. There's a lot of different people in this community that are sharing a lot of great information and so much great content here in our Discord. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I got to run over. If you haven't yet, if you're at, check us out, youtube.com/@BitLab Academy. If you're watching somewhere else, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell, and I will see you in the next video. Adios. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Hope I see you again. Adios, suckers.